and welcome back to the latest SES Newscast. I'm your anchor, Miss Spartan Spirit. I certainly hope you've been enjoying all of the lovely fall weather lately, and the beautiful leaves. I seem to have collected a few when I was out and about today. Anyhow, we're going to turn over to little Spartan Stanley and see where he's hiding this week. Take it away.
Where in the school is little Stanley Spartan? Can you guess where I am this time?
How intriguing. Something round, but it had a metal bar. Where could that have been? I guess we'll have to wait and find out. All right, everyone, it's time to turn to our principal, Mrs. Lowinger. Take it away, Mrs. Lowinger.
Good evening, boys and girls. This week is conference week. That means we do not have school on Friday. Conference week is one of the most important weeks of the school year, and that is because it is a time for us to celebrate the things that are going very, very well, and it's a time for us to think about ourselves as individual learners. Everybody at Stanwood Elementary School has something that they can work on to get better at. I do, your teachers do, and so do you. I want you to create a goal for yourself. I want you to think about what you need to do at school and at home to make that goal come true. And I want you to share it with your teacher and your family this week at conference week. It's important to share your goals with other people. It's just one step in helping to make that goal come true. I wish you all well at conferences this week. I'm excited to hear how they're going. And I hope you all take care. Have a good night.
That was a great tip to set some goals, Mrs. Lowinger. I love that. And speaking of tips, next up this evening, we're turning to Miss Redding.
Hi, Stanwood Spartans. Miss Redding here. I wanted to talk with you today about insects, specifically ants. And, those little things that live in mounds and sometimes get in your house. Well, I do not like ants in my house, and I like ants even less if they try to get into my head. But the ants in my head are a different kind of ant. Ant stands for automatic negative thought. So if something is automatic, it's instant, it just happens. Negative means it's something bad, and thoughts are ideas that we have in our head. So an automatic negative thought are thoughts that pop into our head that are not helpful. And we can end up being a lot happier, and our life can go a lot more smoothly if we learn to recognize ants and to squash them. Okay? The way you squash ants or automatic negative thoughts is to argue with them. So some examples of ants, let's see, one is if you tend to do always or never thinking, like you say things like, I always get it wrong, I never get it right. So anything that's just is cut and dry like that, an absolute, that's not true. We don't always mess up, and we don't never get things right. But that's something we might say to ourselves if we have a problem and or get something wrong. Another one, automatic negative thought, would be fortune telling. That's when you think that you can predict the future and you are predicting something bad will happen. You don't really know that. None of us can predict the future. So when we start predicting bad things to happen, that's when we need to take a deep breath and remind ourselves that we don't have that information. We don't really know that. And if we tell ourselves that something bad will happen, then we're going to feel worse. Another negative thought is mind reading. When maybe our friend walks by us with a mad look on their face, and we think we can read their mind. We think, oh, they're mad at us. They don't like us anymore. And that hurts our heart, and we start feeling bad. Well, we're not mind readers. Unless they tell us that, we don't really know, and we need to check into that. Because maybe they just found out they couldn't go to the zoo this weekend like they had planned, or something like that, and they're upset, and that's why their face is angry. One last negative thought, and this is one that really has helped me to break, is blaming. When I blame other people for my problems or what's going on in my life, that means I give them all the power. That means I can't fix it myself. If they're causing it, then they're the only ones who can fix it. And that's not true. Generally, when we have a problem in our lives, there's lots we can do to fix it. So just try to start recognizing some of those ants. And when you recognize your brain thinking an ant, an automatic negative thought, take a deep breath and say, I don't really know that. That's not really true. What's really true maybe is I'm disappointed right now, or I'm sad right now. And I don't want to make that sad feeling bigger than it has to be by telling myself really negative things about that. So anyhow, I just thought I'd drop that little hint with you to look for the ants in your life and to start squashing them, to have more positive thoughts so that you feel better and actually function better. Anyhow, take care. I hope you have a wonderful week, and I hope to see you soon. Bye-bye.
That's a great idea, to be aware of our feelings and our thoughts so that we can be in control of them. Thanks, Mrs. Redding. All right, next up, we are going to turn to Mr. Nightman, who's in the kitchen baking up something delicious.
Hello, Stanwood Elementary School students. I'm going to talk about making no-bake breakfast bars. The microwave will be used, so there is some process of heating things up. Don't worry, if you want to make these, we will have the recipe posted, so don't worry about trying to remember all this. One thing I'd like to tie into this is the character strong word of the month, which is gratitude. What I have gratitude for is the amount of food we have, so we are able to make this type of a treat. All right, the ingredients I will be using in this are Cheerios. I use 3 cups. Craisins, I use half a cup. Chopped almonds, I use a half a cup. I use butterscotch chips. You can use other chips. Yogurt is the one that's typically called for this. I couldn't find any, so you can be creative. And what I do is I put them all together in this bowl, so they're ready to go. In this bowl, I have half a cup of honey and a 1/4 cup of peanut butter. This will go in the microwave. Now I've heated the honey and peanut butter together over a 45-second time period. I did it each time 15 seconds. I would stir it, and I do it a second time, then a third. Now I'm going to pour it into the bowl with the Cheerios, Craisins, almonds, and butterscotch chips. I try to get as much of it in as I can. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to thoroughly mix it through. Now I'm going to transfer this into an 8x8 pan that has wax paper so it won't stick to it. And when I put it in here, I'm going to flatten it out. I'm going to try and get it to conform. Okay, now that it's in the pan appropriately, I'm going to now put it in the freezer for 30 minutes. I'm going to get it out of the freezer now. That 30 minutes went awfully quick. Wouldn't you agree? Okay, so I'm going to pull this out and I'm going to put it on a cutting board. I'm going to cut it into 8 sections. Okay, now I'm going to dip this into the melted butterscotch chips. I actually added a little bit of peanut butter in it. And I use creamy peanut butter for this. And one thing to remember is always make sure you wash your hands before you start doing this, especially at a time like this when I'm using my hands. So you want to have clean hands. Between times, if you're going up and picking stuff up, there could be a lot of bacteria. So make sure you wash your hands. Okay, so I'm going to take it, I'm going to dip it in here, and then I'm going to put it on the wax paper. I'm going to dip all these, and then I put them in the freezer for 15 minutes. Okay. Okay, so after 15 minutes in the freezer, these are good to go. You can eat them now if you want to store them. What I do sometimes is I'll wrap them in wax paper, and I'll put them in a Tupperware, and they can last for quite a while, so you can get to them later if you want, but they're a nice snack to have. I've talked to the number of the classes about the 3 components of food, the main components, which are carbohydrates, fats, and protein, which this contains. I hope you enjoy making them. If you have the chance, send me a picture of the no-bake breakfast bars that you've made, and tell me how you like them. Take care. Bye.
Well, thank you, Mr. Nigeman. I think I might just have to whip up a few of those myself. All right, next up, we are in for a real treat. The fish in room 13 with Mrs. Weedman and her students have a special message of gratitude.
Hi, my name is Ike, and my brother Mike and I are very excited to talk to you guys about the characteristic of gratitude. Gratitude is a very big word for thankful, and we have a lot of things to be thankful for. I can think of a lot. Can you? Hi, my name is Mike, and I'm Ike's little brother. And we're here to talk to you about thankfulness. And one of the things I am really thankful for is my bro, Ike. We like to hang out together, which actually is a good thing because we're stuck in the same bowl. Wanted to tell you that we are thankful for all the food we get. The kids feed us every day and we love to eat. Look how big we are since we first came to Stanwood Elementary School. And oh, how yummy. Look at our food. We love it when our kids feed us. Thankful for all the kids in our classroom. They greet us every day, and they read to us, and they tell us math facts, and they show us all their cool writing and their art. We are so lucky to be in room 13 with awesome kids.
Mike and Ike, I sure love learning about gratitude and all the different ways that you are thankful. All right, everyone, speaking of being thankful, we have a Thanksgiving joke up next. Take it away.
Why did the turkey cross the road?
I don't know, Emmett. Why did the turkey cross the road?
Because it was the chicken's day off.
Ha! Nice one, Emmett.
It was the chicken's day off. Of course it was. I like that. All right, everyone, it's time to find out where little Spartan Stanley is hiding this week. You were in the cafeteria. I think you're just getting ready for a big Thanksgiving meal. All right, everyone, that's it for this week. Make sure to take care, and until next time, I'm Miss Spartan Spirit. And remember, there will be no school on Friday due to conferences, and it's not too late to schedule one either. Just contact your child's teacher.